This presence jumped off the cliff in front of the cave, catching Miles and Viper's attention. "Hello, Miles and Viper," they said, wearing a black cloak. Miles takes a step forward towards her. "Who are you?" Miles asked in a serious tone. They stepped forward, taking off their hood. "Name's Aura, creation of the goddess species," Aura said very confidently and with a tint of seriousness. "Creation by our god, eh? They should have made you a boy," Viper said, kinda in a playful tone. Aura rolled her eyes as she pulled out a map from her cloak pocket. "Take this. It's not the best map, but it'll help you for what I need you to do," Aura said, handing Miles a map. Miles opens the map, seeing only the locations of Shining Forest and Draconic Kingdom. "Shining Forest to Draconic Kingdom? Interesting," Miles said, still holding the map. Viper perks at hearing about Draconic Kingdom. "Draconic Kingdom? Let me see that," Viper said as he tried to take a peep at the map, getting into Miles' personal space. "Get off," Miles said in a dead serious tone, pushing Viper off of him. Viper does manage to get back up. "I'd like you to go to Draconic Kingdom alone," Aura said, specifically looking at Viper. Viper looked at her annoyed. "What? That's not fair, bruh," Viper yelled, quite angry with Aura's proposition. Aura just goes and leans on a tree. "Viper, I know you way better than you think. I know you'll probably end up trying to kill the Draconic King," Aura said casually. "What do you mean? I don't want to kill him. I just want to get to know him better," Viper said flirty, licking his lips. Miles just looked at him with disgust, and Aura looked disappointed. She grabbed her 2 daggers from her cloak. "Take these with you, Miles. You may need them," Aura said, handing Miles a pair of daggers and her black cloak. Miles starts putting on his cloak and puts the daggers in the cloak pockets. He starts to make his way through Shining Forest, walking and walking, until he feels a strange aura from a nearby bush. He walks over to the bushes and moves them so he can see what is making the faint aura, and he finds a shadowy black rose. He feels hypnotized by it, and in the blink of an eye, he passes out. He hears someone, but he doesn't know who. They have a shadowy voice, but it's not very recognizable. Or is it? Back in this dream of a voided color of black, Miles walks around this black voided dream. He sees Dial. She looks very worried as she starts to look up at him. "Miles, you need to wake up before he finds you. Please, it's not safe. Please wake up," Dial said as she started to cry. Miles felt the emotions she was suffering with. He wanted to reach over and protect her, but there's not much he can do. Well, look what we got here," someone said in a shadowy, sadistic voice. Miles immediately recognized the voice, and so did Dial. They both kind of froze, and Dial tried to avoid contact. "Ah, Dial, trying to play the hero. Aren't you the enemy? Oh, that's because of me, isn't it?" they said teasingly. Miles realized who he was talking to, the god of corruption from the legends, Shady. "Miles, I guess all that reading was worth it, Shady said, kinda playfully. Shady grabs Dial as she refused to look at him. "Don't worry about her. She's just delusional," Shady said teasingly with a tint of seriousness, licking a tear off of her face. The taste of fear," Shady said coldly. Miles got really scared and worried, thinking about too many thoughts at the same time in his head. It was really hard to manage. He ended up waking up on the ground. When he got up, his eyes were black and red, and he could see the Draconic Kingdom from where he was sitting. Draconic Kingdom? "Wait, how did I get here?" he said to himself, pulling a small smile looking at the view. He starts to walk over to the kingdom, determined to figure out why he was sent here. He walked around a lot, making sure to hide that he's a dark species by keeping his hood on. Unfortunately, a Draconic Kingdom soldier noticed his eyes and started to get to the castle to tell the king. "Hey, Olivia, you okay?" a guard named Shane asked, kinda worried by her facial expression. "Where's King Dearlo? I saw something that I need to warn him about," Olivia asked, still panicking. "He should be on the balcony. Why? What's wrong?" Shane asked, concerned. Olivia immediately started running towards the king's room, where his balcony is located. Once Olivia got inside the room, she opened the doors to the balcony, seeing King Dearlo standing there, looking off the edge, enjoying the breeze. "King Dearlo, I may or may not have seen a dark species here," Olivia said, kinda hesitant. The moment King Dearlo heard the word dark species, he was not happy. What? What do you mean? Where are they? King Dearlo yelled furiously, growling in anger, walking around in circles repeatedly. They're wearing a black cloak, and I think they're on their way to the castle, Olivia said, kinda quietly, saying the last part. King Dearlo started walking towards the weapon room, still growling in anger, grabbing a green pistol from the room. Oh, that bitch will fucking pay. Get ready to meet your demise, King Dearlo said, putting the gun in his pocket. He started to march down the hallways, getting ready to meet this person. He looks out the window to see his guards sleeping, and this dark species sneaking in. King Dearlo walks towards the entrance to see who this dark species is. He stops him from walking anymore, though. Who are you? King Dearlo asked, pretty serious. King Dearlo stared at him, waiting for an answer. Miles. Miles' head thrown off his hood. King Dearlo's heart skipped a beat. That scar on his face, could it be from Shady? King Dearlo places a hand on his own scar, which is covered by his shirt. Scarred by the god of corruption, King Dearlo said, almost putting a hand on Miles' scar, but he made sure to hold back. King Dearlo started walking away, Miles following next to him. King Dearlo looked at him. Something about him was different from others. It felt nice being around him. He never felt this way with anyone except his ex. King Dearlo tries snapping out of it. There's no fucking way he has feelings for a dark species. They make it to the balcony, and King Dearlo pulls out a book. I've done a lot of research about the legends, and maybe I'll share some of what I know about the Rainbow God, King Dearlo said. He starts on with the story, and Miles, well, kinda zoned out for a while, until he heard about the beloved Rainbow God being banished and turned corrupted. Miles started paying attention, while sometimes zoning out. Someone was watching them from some distance, but at the castle. And that's the legends of the Rainbow God, King Dearlo said. Miles looked serious and kinda confused. And kinda cute. Nope, fuck no. King Dearlo just shook his thoughts out of his head. He's supposed to be killing dark species, not falling in love with them. He knew his duties as king, so he knew what he must do. As king of Draconic Kingdom, I must kill light and dark species. I must kill Darion, King Dearlo said, getting his axe ready to use. Miles hears his words and immediately turns around. King Dearlo slashes his axe, trying to hit Miles down with it. Miles falls on the ground, but manages to block the axe attack with his daggers. An arrow from an unknown source gets launched, aiming at King Dearlo. King Dearlo realizes and immediately catches the arrow before it hits him. An unknown person grabs Miles and flees. King Dearlo was busy with catching the arrow that he didn't notice where they escaped. Damn it, King Dearlo! King Dearlo yelled to himself, but at the same time, kinda glad that Miles escaped. Miles looked to see who saved him. It was Brianna, an old friend of his, but she looked different than usual. Brianna, is that you? What happened to you? Miles asked, looking at her. Brianna puts on a fake smile and giggles a little. I could ask the same, Mr. Dark Species, but let's just say life has a lot to offer. Good and bad. I'm sorry to hear that. I wish I could have done more. Brianna said, her smile slowly fading. Miles sat kinda silent at the last part. I guess I can share with you. So one day at a club, I kinda got lost, so I looked for my master. And well, I entered a room that I was not supposed to be in. My boss was talking to a girl who's famous for being a successful assassin, mafia boss, whore. Think about it. A girl named Nixie. So yeah, I got kind of scared seeing her talk to my boss. My boss kind of fucked up and never paid Nixie back. My boss has a gambling addiction. So basically, my boss works for Nixie, and if I didn't accept Nixie's offer to work for her, she would have killed my boss. I had no other choice. I don't really like guns, so I stick with bow and arrows, Brianna said, looking at Miles. Miles looks down, feeling bad for her situation. Damn, sorry to hear that, Miles said, still looking down. Miles gets ready to jump off the roof. I need to go. I'm heading back to Shining Forest. I hope one day to come back, Miles said as he started to get on the edge, ready to jump. Bye! Say hi to Darion for me, Brianna said as Miles got near the edge. Miles knew he couldn't talk to Darion after everything, and he fell backwards off the edge, getting prepared to land. As Miles was falling, he went face to face with King Dearlo, then landing and running away. King Dearlo runs over to his soldiers, ready to give him a command. Raymond, Shane, get them! King Dearlo commanded in anger. Yes, sir, they said as they left the castle, looking around for Miles. They soon found him and chased after him. Miles was quick, but they made sure to stay behind until they ran past a shop. Raymond was out of arrows, so he stopped at the shop to get some. Shane stayed close behind as Miles made it back to the shining forest. Shane grabs a walkie-talkie badge from his pocket. King Deerlo, he escaped in the shining forest. Should I retreat? Shane asked as he looked into the forest. No, follow him. He can't run away forever. King Deerlo said from the other connection of the walkie-talkie. Yes, sir, Shane said, walking into the shining forest. Shane makes sure to be careful while walking. He also puts his walkie-talkie badge on himself so he could access it better. As he was walking through the forest, he felt something zoom past him, snatching his sword and walkie-talkie badge. Then less than a second, a knife got thrown at him, making him fall to the ground. After opening his eyes, Shane looked at this person who was holding the walkie-talkie badge. And of course, it was Viper. Yet Shane doesn't know him. Viper gets ready to speak in the walkie-talkie. You must be the Draconic King, Viper said, speaking in the walkie-talkie. King Deerlo didn't recognize his voice, so he got a bit worried. Wait a damn minute, you're not Shane. Who the fuck are you? King Deerlo asked, starting to panic a bit. I don't think that's information I should share, darling, Viper said, kinda flirty. Leon noticed the flirting while King Deerlo was still panicking. Where the fuck is Shane? King Deerlo yelled in the walkie-talkie. Viper laughed a little as he looked down at Shane. I have your little soldier lying on the ground. The blood looks amazing as always, Viper said, loving King Deerlo's reactions to his sadisticness. Shit, no, this cannot be real, no. King Deerlo kept telling himself while still panicking. Shh, you can kiss your friend goodbye, or you can kiss me, Viper said, licking his lips, still flirting. Viper breaks the walkie-talkie with one of his hands and gets ready to kill Shane. Viper slowly walks over to him. This is about to get really bloody. I would feel bad about how much this will hurt, but you were chasing my good pal Miles, Viper said, getting too close to Shane. Viper rips off his flesh and skin with his teeth and consumes some of it, including his blood, afterwards leaving a bloody mess on him. Damn, I really got dirty. Guess I better wash up, Viper said as he found a lake to get washed up. Meanwhile, Miles was still running and later just continued to walk. He looked behind him, happy to see no one was behind him. Sometime later, Miles saw Viper leaning on a tree. Viper's hair pretty wet. Hello, Viper. Why is your hair wet? Miles asked as he just stood there. Viper whips his hair around a bit. I took a quick bath, obviously. Why did you want to see it? Viper said, still flirty. Miles was disgusted by that idea. Hell no! I'm straight! Miles yelled in disgust. Viper runs a hand through his hair as he walks over. Now, tell me about the Draconic King. Is he cute? Viper asked, licking his tongue. Miles was absolutely disgusted by his behavior. Viper, he's 14. He's a minor, Miles said, hoping that would shut Viper up, but he only smirked. Well, you know what they say, age is just a number, Viper said, still with a smirk on his face. Miles' eyes twitched by his words. Age is just a— You're 9 years older than him, Miles said, angry with him. They were looking at each other until Aura decided to speak up. What are you guys doing? Aura asked, opening her eyes from meditating. Viper shrugs and Miles walks up to her. Did you send me up there to learn more about the Rainbow God? Miles asked curiously. Aura got off her rock and walked up to Miles. Yes, as a newer member Dark Species, it is good to be familiar with the Rainbow God, considering your scar, Aura said in a somewhat serious tone. If I ever see the Draconic King, I'll rip off his clothes, Viper said with a smirk, flirtingly licking his lips. Miles and Aura looked at each other, then back at him. Viper, what the fuck? Hell no! Miles yelled at him. Aura smacks Viper at the back of his head. Meanwhile, back at the Shining Clan, Darion was talking to Heart in her tent. And back at Darion's tent, Diao was crying in her bed. Diao was shaking and crying in fear, all while whimpering. Shady watches from the shadows and steps out, seeing Diao cry. You seem scared, not happy to see me, Shady teased as he walked closer to her. Diao hid more under her blanket, hoping he'd just go away. No need to be scared, I just want to talk, Shady said with a tint of seriousness. Diao's still scared and stays close to her blanket. 3 days. 3 days exact. Go find the darkened rose, Shady said, Diao still whimpering, repeating no over and over to herself. Shady covers her mouth and gets ready to speak again. If you don't do as I say, I'll kill your precious sister. Shady said dead serious. He was losing his patience with DL. DL may protect her from my hypnotism, but she cannot protect her from death. Shady said, still dead serious. DL could really hear the seriousness in his voice, making her even more scared. Shady noticed his tone. He just sighs and pats DL on the head. I can taste his power. It will be so powerful. Now, DL, either agree or disagree and DL dies. Shady said, a tint of frustration, his patience slipping. DL stutters plenty, really scared of his presence. I'll do it. Please just go away, DL said, still crying. Shady smiles, satisfied by her decision. Shady looks at her in the face, then walks away towards the shadows. Yeah, since I've caused you so much trouble, I'll leave you alone the 3 days that you have until the search, so enjoy your night, Shady said, fading into the shadows. Diao felt scared, but 3 nights without Shady felt like heaven to her. Diao went to sleep that night, this time feeling safe.